Donald Trump is now sending the Secret Service after left-wing content creators. We just entered some very dangerous territory in American history under Trump's America. Ed Krasenstein, who is a liberal, a Democrat, anti-Trump, he has a huge platform on Twitter or X, posted earlier today saying, "I literally just had the Secret Service at my house. More details in a minute." And he included a Substack article to break down the specifics of what happened, and it is truly frightening, I think, for any American, regardless of political affiliation. Before we dive into this article, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you enjoy this video, drop a like, comment, let me know what you think, put some American flags in the comment. But let's just dive right into this article. He writes, quote, "Breaking, Trump admin sends Secret Service to my house. This afternoon, the United States Secret Service showed up at my door at the request of the Trump administration. Why? Because I tweeted the number 8647, a common protest slogan used by Democrats to call for the impeachment or legal removal of Donald Trump, the 47th president of the United States. No threats, no violent rhetoric, just a number. In fact, in the tweet thread, I blatantly stated that I never support violence in any way and want him removed from office legally. The agents who showed up told me that they were, quote, sent from Washington, and after explaining it all to them, they appeared to understand that I wasn't calling for anything close to the president's assassination." So let's just talk about this really quickly before we move forward. He only tweeted 8647, and if you're familiar with like restaurant lingo, you know that 86 means remove, get rid of, eject. 47 stands for Donald Trump, basically meaning let's get rid of Donald Trump through legal means. But MAGA misinterpreted his post to mean that he's calling for violence against Donald Trump or for Trump to be taken out. They are clearly misinterpreting the post to attack him. That's what MAGA and Republicans do so often. They just like change the definition of things to fit their definitions of words, and then they use their new definitions to attack people. It is insane. And that's exactly what happened with this 8647 crap that we're talking about right now that he posted. And this, I think, is particularly concerning. He said that the agents said they were sent from Washington, meaning that they got orders from the Trump administration in Washington to go to this person's house, to go to Ed Krasenstein's house and scare him, is what it appears to be based on the information we have. And I also appreciate that he included his tweet where he said, "For the record, I'm 100% against violence in any form. Stop creating bogus meetings to try and investigate your political opponents. 8647 means remove Trump from office. If you're creating any other meaning, you are the ones who are going to end up inciting the violence." And I totally agree that obviously no violence is advocated for. Nobody's doing that. 8647 just means simply let's get rid of Trump. And what I find interesting is he actually clarified what he meant, and the Secret Service came anyway. He obviously was not advocating for any violence. He goes on to say, "Apparently that was enough for the Trump administration to summon federal agents to my house, claiming I had threatened the president's life. What's really happening is the Trump administration is changing the definition of a number in order to intimidate and squash the free speech of someone calling for his impeachment. Let me be crystal clear. 86 is well-known restaurant slang for removing something. 47 refers to Trump. Put together, it means remove Trump from office legally, peacefully, and through democratic means like impeachment or the 25th Amendment. The number has been used at rallies, protest signs, even James Comey, the Republican-appointed FBI director, posted it on Instagram yesterday. That's what triggered MAGA's meltdown. And he's right. This was the post that James Comey posted on Instagram yesterday. 8647 is arranged in shells on a beach. He said, "Cool shell formation on my beach walk." And this sent MAGA into a spiral. They were claiming that James Comey was calling for an attack on Donald Trump when obviously this is inherently a political message. He's saying that he doesn't like Donald Trump. And we learned earlier today that now James Comey has also been investigated or at least visited by the Secret Service after his post caught the attention of MAGA Republicans online. It is insane what the Trump administration is doing to political opponents right now. If you post something that they can even maybe possibly interpret as a threat to Trump, they will do that. And they will come after people and send the Secret Service to people's house. It is absurd, the America that we're living in. And he continues, "They know what it really means, but truth isn't what they're after. Control through fear is." These are the same people who sold 8646 t-shirts to call for Biden's impeachment. And of course, he's also right there. There are a lot of people on the MAGA right who, when Biden was president, said 8646, like Jack Posobiec. He's a huge MAGA conspiracy theorist creator on Twitter. And in 2022, he said 8646, referencing Joe Biden. Now, no Republicans were calling for an investigation into him. Nobody was calling for the FBI to visit him or the Secret Service to visit him. None of the Republicans were outraged at him. But now, since it's Donald Trump and they're given the same treatment back, the same medicine, they're saying, oh, we need to arrest James Comey. We need to send the Secret Service to the homes of content creators who just repeat the same things we were saying. It is absurd what they're trying to do here. And now they're trying to turn a protest slogan into criminal offense. Let's not kid ourselves. This is what authoritarianism looks like in the early stages, weaponizing federal power to harass political critics, manufacturing outrage to silent dissent, treating peaceful protests as a threat. The article continues further, but that's the gist, that he tweets out 8647, the Secret Service comes after him. And I think it is completely absurd that this is what the Trump administration is doing, but let's be abundantly clear. Number one, the Trump admin knows that this was not a threat toward Trump. They know that because they've embraced people who have said similar things. And number two, this is what dictators do. This is exactly what dictators do. Donald Trump knows that. The Trump administration knows that. This is the dictator playbook. Let's silence our political opponents through fear. And it's something that Trump has tried to do for his political opponents as well. Liz Cheney, he said, let's have 9 barrels staring at her. Mark Milley, his former chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff that he appointed, he called for the execution of. Biden, he posted an image of him hogtied on Truth Social for protesters, suggested shooting them, journalists shooting them, and the list goes on. Even for the Democratic Party broadly, he called for military action against the Democratic Party. They have tried this. They are the ones, Donald Trump especially, are the ones who have actually put out posts and things on social media that can be interpreted as advocating for violence against an individual or individuals. And yet now they're the ones that are apparently the victims of this. They're the ones claiming that they have been targeted. It is utter nonsense. This is not only an attack on free speech, but it's obviously Donald Trump trying to continue to be an authoritarian, to silence, whether it be Ed Krasenstein, who is a liberal content creator on Twitter, or even a former FBI director from posting things that are free speech political dissent. And things like this, stories like this, remind me that so many in the MAGA movement actually don't understand the law. They don't understand it. They don't understand the law. They don't actually care about free speech. If it's free speech that they don't like, they don't consider it free speech. They consider it illegal speech. And that's what happened here. They don't like that somebody wants to remove Donald Trump from office through impeachment or legal means. And so what do? They rile up on social media, so much so that the Secret Service visits a content creator's house, visits the house of the former FBI director. It's disgraceful. But look, it's a terrifying story. We are entering in a really dark period of America's history, even darker than before. And so I had to talk about this, had to bring it to your attention that, yeah, this is what the MAGA movement is doing. This is what the Trump administration is doing. And as you heard from the article, the Secret Service agents said that they were sent from Washington. And that's a big deal. So anyway, I will leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you being here. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Drop a like on the video, comment. Again, let me know what you think about this. Share the video, put some American flags in the comments. We love to see it. And as I always say, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.